Hi guys, and welcome back to today's video. Today's video is gonna be a sketchbook tour. Yay! This is actually gonna be my very first sketchbook tour, since this is my very first sketchbook that I ever owned in my whole life and the very first sketchbook that I finished. So I am pretty excited about this. I am happy that I finished this sketchbook because I don't think it really shows anymore what I want to do, how I want to work, but it definitely shows how I have improved, and it definitely shows how I have changed. So first of all, I will put all the data about this sketchbook right here, what kind of sketchbook it is, what brand, you know, all the stuff that you might want to know. I basically stopped drawing, painting, doing anything art related right after I got out of high school. I don't know why I did that, but the whole time during college, during my college years, I didn't draw a single thing. I think I just stopped altogether, and I wanted to get back into it because it was a skill that I had. It was something that I knew I would enjoy, like something I could get really passionate about. Since I was working full-time at that time, I really wanted something that I can carry around in my bag and that I can just pull out during my lunch breaks and start drawing. And so I decided to get this sketchbook. And I didn't want to bring a watercolor palette or anything to work, so all I had was the sketchbook and a technical pencil, so I would just do a 30-minute sketch during my lunch breaks, and those are most of these pages. However, towards the end of the sketchbook, I started looking into other people, how other people treat their sketchbook. I started trying out watercolor, gouache, color pencil. I got back into Copic markers, so there are a few colorful pages in here, but not as much as I would like there to be. Not that there's anything wrong with pencil sketches. I love pencil sketches. This kind of reflects how I got back into art and like the beginning of my journey. So yeah, this is a sketchbook that I will probably keep for the rest of my life, even though some of the things in here are not really things that I am proud of. But yeah, enough of that. Let's just jump right into it. So on the first page, I'm really into calligraphy, and I love when people have like beautiful handwriting and can do these beautiful fonts and like quotes and stuff like that. So I tried it out and I suck at it. My handwriting itself is a mess, and I'm really not good at calligraphy. I don't know if I really want to get into it one day. I think it's just pretty, but I don't think it's for me. But I really wanted to put a nice quote on the first page of the sketchbook, so I just wrote "Dream Big," and then I just started with some fairies with flowers and long flowy hair. It's my comfort zone. You will see these probably a few times in the sketchbook. Just simple pencil sketches. Yeah. Also, I started this sketchbook, as I probably said, in October, so there are some Inktober pieces in here too. This was my first Inktober, and it was fun, but I didn't have the time to like put a lot of effort in these illustrations because, as I said, I was working full-time, so a lot of these are not really satisfying to me. Yeah, it's all over the place. It's not really cohesive, so just because I started Inktober here doesn't mean that I do a lot of Inktober pieces following. It just, I don't know why I skip pages. So I think this was a Draw This in Your Style challenge by Sibylline M on Instagram. And then I really like these sunflowers, so I put a few more on the other side. I always will have Copic marker bleed through in this sketchbook, and I'm always quite hesitant to draw over these pages, so sometimes I just skip them and use the next one, which is actually a shame because it's a perfectly fine page, but yeah, I never know what to do with these bleed through pages. Again, more calligraphy, it didn't work out. Like looking at it, don't like making it myself. More girls with flowers and flowy hair. This was the first time that I tried to draw a guy. I never do that. I never draw boys or guys, so this is something that I really have to practice more. But I tried to draw the singer of my favorite rock band. They are called One Ok Rock and his name is Tucker. And this is probably a reference picture that I just got off Google. I really like these vampire-like fairies that I did with just fine liner and Copic marker. I love her wings. I love how I did like some green stuff hanging from her wings, so I really want to come back to this idea someday. Over here is Inktober, an Inktober piece. This is just a random pencil sketch, and these are actually quite recent sketches that I did for a sticker design for my Patreon exclusive sticker. They voted for a witch, a chibi witch, so I did some sketches just with a red pencil. More Inktober pieces. I really don't know what I should talk about in these, and like in the sketchbook tour. I don't know what people talk about when they do these sketchbook tours. I saw a few people just saying nothing and just flipping through the pages, but I kind of want to explain a little bit about it, but just sometimes just nothing to say, so this was my first time trying acrylic gouache, and it was a huge fail. This is like one of the very few pieces that I don't like at all. There's nothing about this where I could say like this, I did this great, like at least this part looks nice. It's a huge mess. And I think I realized pretty quickly during painting this that it's just not gonna work out, and I don't know, I messed it up so much. It's not pretty, but it is here now, and it's okay. But I love this Chihiro sketch, the pencil sketch that I did on the other side. I think this one turned out really pretty, so we have a huge fail on this side and a nice success on this side. I also really like this Inktober illustration. I think that's one of the only few Inktober illustrations that I actually like. I like the idea that I came up with here. I like that I just, you know, have her sit on this gravestone. I think the theme was gravestone. I like that she's just sipping on a cup of tea. With this page I try to just take a fine liner, a black fine liner, and go without sketching anything. On this spread I actually used, I think I used watercolor for one of the first times in my life. And I wanted to do something different than people or fairies or girls with long and flowy hair, so I decided to draw buildings and houses, because they are simple. They are usually just lines and simple shapes. And I actually really like how the paper took the watercolor, how these colors turned out, how the illustration itself looks. I don't know why I never did more of these, but I really like what I did here. Might do a few more in the future, who knows. This is a Kiki sketch where I wanted to come back to that idea that I had with Chihiro, so I wanted to kind of stick to that theme where I would have the main character and then flowers around them. And since I did Chihiro, I also wanted to do Kiki, and I think I also later in the sketchbook did Mononoke from Princess Mononoke. And these are just some random Christmas characters, Christmas elves, that I wanted to like turn into stickers or products or prints or something. And I did this one as a sticker, as you can see here, but at the time when I did this I didn't have a good printer, and I also didn't have the right sticker paper, so that didn't work out as planned, and I got frustrated, and I never went all the way through with this idea, but I think she's really cute. I love the candle on her head, and I definitely want to come back to this idea. On this page I tried gouache again. I didn't want to give up. I think gouache is an awesome medium, and if you know how to use it right, it can do awesome things. The landscape thing didn't work out the last time, so let's try what I am used to. Let's go back to my comfort zone. I actually like this one a lot. The best part I think are these branches. Are these called branches, like the trees coming out of her head? I love the detail that I did on here. I think I did quite a good job on these. And then on this side underneath here I did a thumbnail sketch with pencil, and I didn't like that this side has like colors and is painted and like a pretty illustration, but this was only like a thumbnail pencil sketch, so I stick this postcard in where I tried painting another landscape with gouache, and I think this looks much nicer together. These are just some two girls that I did with Copic markers. And yeah, as I said, here's Princess Mononoke following Chihiro and Kiki from Kiki's delivery service. On here I just try to think of illustrations that I can use for my Patreon tiers. This is actually a mermaid that I did for this year's mermaid. Another mermaid that I did, I think I did this one before I did this one. On this page I tried out Posca markers, but I don't know how to use them well yet, so I have to do a few more practices with the Posca markers. I came up with this idea of turning Disney characters and Ghibli characters into grown-ups and like put them into nowadays clothes. So I just started with Kiki because she's one of my favorite Ghibli characters to draw, and I just put her in these mom jeans and decided she would be a mom owning a flower shop and, you know, just be awesome. I did a few more. I did Chihiro and I also did Mulan and Rapunzel and Belle. And all of these I would do the pencil sketches here in my sketchbook and then take a picture and color it in Procreate. So I only did Moana and then I did a few sketches. I did Ariel and Aurora, but I never finished these, so these sketches are not finished and I never colored them. And then mermaids started, so these are my first mermaids that I did for this year's mermaid. And then on this side I have some Copic marker bleed through from the next spread, so I decided to stick this postcard in here. And this is my very first nice, well, thought through cohesive sketchbook spread, because I love Witch. I don't know if you know Witch, but this is a comic series created by, I think I don't know if I will pronounce his name right, but I think it's pronounced Alessandro Barbucci. I don't know. I am so sorry if I butchered your name, but I love this comic series. We had this as a magazine in Germany and I had a subscription, so every month the new issue would arrive at my home and I could read the story, and then there were like tutorials to know how to draw these characters and how to draw eyes, how to draw hair, and like additional content, stuff like that. And this was my childhood. I love this so much. I have every single magazine. I still have them all at home in Germany and I try to reread them once a year, but since I live in Japan now I don't have them here, so I can't reread them, but I still have them all in my old room and I love this series. This is what got me into drawing. This is how I learned how to draw. Yeah, I just wanted to honor my first sketchbook spread to what got me into drawing in the first place. And this beautiful sketchbook spread is followed by this ugly gouache painting that I did for Mermaid, and I hate it. And this is the last page of this sketchbook, and this is actually my favorite page in this whole sketchbook. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching the sketchbook tour. I hope it was okay, but I don't really know what people talk about in their sketchbook tours, so let me know if you liked it by maybe giving it a thumbs up or like leaving a comment in the comment next section below, and maybe subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!